Hey, sex educators. Ever wonder how sex education impacts people's lives? One day soon, we hope it might be used in schools near you. They stared at each other awkwardly for a moment, neither wanting to break the silence first. Finally, Elena cleared her throat. So do you want to see it? She asked, holding up the painting. Maya hesitated, torn between her desire to examine the artwork and her sudden urge to reach out and touch Elena. Yeah, of course, Maya managed, taking a step forward. As Elena turned the painting to face her, the dim light from the street lamp outside illuminated the canvas, revealing a vibrant cityscape. But Maya couldn't bring herself to focus on the art. Instead, she found herself captivated by the way the light played across Elena's face, highlighting the sharp angles of her cheekbones and the delicate curve of her neck. Elena, noticing Maya's distracted gaze, couldn't help but smile. It was a small, self-conscious smile, but it was enough to send a jolt of electricity through Maya. Damn it, she thought, shaking her head slightly to try and refocus. You're here for the art, she reminded herself. As if sensing Maya's thoughts, Elena cleared her throat again and shifted the painting slightly to the side, revealing a small section that had been cleverly hidden behind a loose coil of wires. Look, she said softly. There's a key here somewhere. Intrigued, Maya leaned closer to examine the painting, her eyes scanning for any sign of a keyhole or a secret compartment. Elena, with a mischievous glint in her eyes, moved closer as well, her body brushing against Maya's, sending shivers down her spine. Looking for this? She whispered, her fingers sliding along Maya's arm before reaching out to gently caress her cheek. Startled by the unexpected touch, Maya froze, her heart pounding in her chest. Elena's hand was cool and surprisingly gentle, and for a moment, Maya couldn't bring herself to pull away. Suddenly, the sound of footsteps echoed through the cavernous space, shattering the fragile intimacy that had formed between them. Both women jumped apart, their eyes wide with surprise. Maya quickly stepped back, hoping that the dim lighting would conceal the flush spreading across her cheeks. Elena, her expression a mixture of apprehension and annoyance, pulled her hand away from the painting. Who's there? Maya called out, her voice echoing through the empty warehouse. As the footsteps grew louder, Maya felt a surge of adrenaline mixed with apprehension. She couldn't help but wonder who had followed them here and what their intentions were. Elena, her eyes narrowed with suspicion, took a step forward. Don't move, she hissed, reaching out to grab Maya's arm, but Maya shook her off, her own instincts taking over. She drew a deep breath, trying to calm the sudden flutter in her chest. This was ridiculous, she told herself. There was nothing to be afraid of. Then a figure emerged from the shadows, his silhouette stark against the faint light filtering through the grimy windows. Relief washed over Maya, but it was quickly replaced by annoyance when she recognized the newcomer. Marco, she said, her voice dripping with sarcasm. Marco grinned, flashing a set of teeth that were just a little too sharp for comfort. Maya, he purred. Elena, to what do I owe the pleasure? Elena stepped forward, her chin tilted defiantly. What do you want, Marco? She snapped. Marco's grin widened, revealing a hint of something predatory in his eyes. Just thought I'd check in on you, see what kind of trouble you two were stirring up, he said smoothly. But it looks like you're not up to any shenanigans, which is a shame. He paused, his gaze lingering on Maya. You know, you're always welcome to join me. We could have so much fun together, just the two of us. He winked, oblivious to the disgusted look Elena shot in his direction. Before Maya could respond, a loud crash from somewhere deeper in the warehouse drew their attention. All three of them froze, listening intently. The sound of heavy footsteps echoed closer, accompanied by what sounded like a guttural growl. Marco's playful expression vanished, replaced by a look of genuine fear. Oh God, he whispered, his eyes wide with panic. I think I forgot to lock him in. Turning to Elena and Maya, his face pale, he stammered, whatever you do, don't go after him. He's not human, not entirely. With that cryptic warning, Marco bolted, disappearing into the labyrinth of crates and shadows. Left alone in the sudden silence, Maya and Elena exchanged uneasy glances. A low growl reverberated through the warehouse, sending shivers down their spines. Fear warred with curiosity within Maya, but the sight of Elena's determined face gave her courage. Whatever lurked in the darkness, they would face it together. Holding her breath, Elena crept closer to the source of the noise, her senses on high alert. Maya, her heart pounding in her chest, followed closely behind. The growl intensified, vibrating through the floor and into their bones. Suddenly, the growling stopped abruptly, replaced by a heavy thud. Rounding a stack of crates, they came face to face with a sight that was both terrifying and mesmerizing. A hulking figure stood before them, its back to the dim light filtering through a broken window. Its shoulders were broad, almost inhumanly so, and it hunched slightly as if in pain. What was it? A monster? A creature from some dark myth? Fear threatened to paralyze Maya, but Elena stepped forward, her voice steady despite the tremor in her hands. Who are you? The creature turned, revealing a face that was half shadow, half moonlight. Its skin was a canvas of silver and black, its eyes glowing embers in the gloom. Fear gave way to fascination as Maya realized it was no beast, but a person, or rather a shapeshifter. His clothes torn and ashen, his muscles corded with power. He was beautiful in a terrifying way. The shapeshifter snarled, bearing sharp fangs that glistened in the darkness. Then, as if exhausted, he slumped against a nearby crate, his eyes losing their fiery intensity. Seeing his vulnerability, a surge of protectiveness welled up in Elena. Gently, she approached the shapeshifter, her gaze unwavering. Can you understand me? She asked softly. He nodded slowly, his voice raspy. Who are you? She pressed. And why did he send you? He winced. He who? Confused. Elena frowned. Was he referring to Marco? Who was Marco? The shapeshifter winced again. My name is Zane, he rasped. And Marco is the Raven. Elena and Maya looked at each other, a silent question passing between them. They had stumbled into something far more intricate and dangerous than they had anticipated. And with Marco revealed as the Raven, a shiver ran down Elena's spine. What kind of web had they woven themselves into?